Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. As most of you are no doubt aware by now, the XRP Ledger's first ever sidechain recently launched, the Zahau network with the ticker symbol XAH. And it's basically a copy of the XRP Ledger with certain tweaks, including what is known as the Hooks Amendment for the XRP Ledger, which has not been approved for the XRP Ledger. It's been sitting around literally for years. That code was actually implemented into layer 1 of the Zahau network, which offers native smart contract functionality on layer 1. And the reason this is created is because there is no smart contract functionality on the XRP Ledger on layer 1. It's just designed to be a fantastic blockchain for payments. And so this was launched, and there's a token, and I don't know if you guys heard about this yet, but it went on a bit of a run. A substantial run. It was up, I think, over 400% in a day. And it was the day that, just the other day, when Bitcoin got back up to, over $42,000 for the first time. Zahau was up like over 400%, hit a new all-time high, which ultimately led to this article from the Crypto Basic. XAH may surpass XRP price as XRP Ledger sidechain token moves to new all-time high above 60 cents. So, folks, how do you guys feel about that? How do you all feel about the idea of the Zahau token XAH being worth more than the price of XRP? Is that something we even actually need to worry about? Well, fair enough that they wrote the article because it got pretty damn close, like within tenths of a penny. And maybe there could have been, if you scrutinize it, it may be the case that technically, I haven't verified this, maybe technically Zahau could have been slightly worth more than XRP for a very brief period of time. So what does that say about XRP? Well, I've got a bunch of comments on that. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Anyway, piece reads as follows. The price of Zahau Network's XAH token has started the week in grand style, gaining over 400%. Zahau Network, a sidechain built atop the XRP Ledger, has seen the value of its native XAH token soar by 376% in the hours leading up to press time. XAH rose from 12 cents to 60 cents in a breakout that has seen it outperform the broader crypto market. So I'll pause to note, it did hit an all-time high of over 64 cents, so it was ultimately up over 400%. Anyway, piece continues. The move catches the eye as XAH has ties with the XRP Ledger. With trading officially available on Bitrue, the price of XAH has risen significantly. And so then they wrote here, this is kind of funny actually, given that I know what happened, and maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I'm going to share it with you. They wrote here, it remains to be seen how long the latest uptrend lasts, as XAH is only tradable on Bitrue at the time of writing, per data from CoinMarketCap. Holders would anticipate that the token sustains the growth given the improvements it brings to the XRP Ledger ecosystem. You might have gotten out over your skis a little bit, the Crypto Basic. And I like the Crypto Basic, but that assumption that it would stay there, bad assumption. It certainly did not. Which I'll circle back to in just a moment here. But first, I want to share with you this post. This is from December 4th, 3:25 a.m. Central Time. That's my time zone here anyway. And attorney Bill Morgan shared this little screen grab of the price of XAH. It was at 56 cents at the time. And he simply wrote, at this rate, XAH will go past XRP's price. Which is totally reasonable to post, by the way. I actually was. And technically, maybe it even did. I didn't scrutinize from minute to minute to see if there was a moment where it was above by even part of a tenth of a penny. So maybe, but it doesn't matter. Either way, it was pretty much there. Because XRP, for the last 24 hours, its 24-hour high was a little over 64 cents, and the same is true for XAH. They both were, at their peaks, were just over 64 cents. So it's about there either way, really. So I responded, though, and as far as this idea of XAH blasting past XRP, I know that even if it does, it's not sustainable. How do I know that? Well, check this out. I wrote to Bill Morgan, and I said, If it does, then people will buy XRP and burn to mint XAH, since that would be cheaper than buying on exchange. And so, to be clear what that means, because I don't know if everybody is aware of this, but there are a couple ways that you can acquire XAH if you choose to. First way is you can purchase XAH from someone else. You could buy it on an exchange, like BitTrue, for example, where it is currently traded. And it's the only exchange, by the way, where it's currently traded, because it's a brand new cryptocurrency, so that's not terribly surprising. But you can purchase it from somebody else there. Another way to get XAH is you can do what's called burn to mint, where you can purchase XRP, and this is why it's a sidechain. You can purchase XRP, and then you can burn that XRP and mint XAH. So if you purchase, say, 100 XRP, you can burn 100 XRP. It's gone forever. Nobody can purchase it. That means that the total supply of XRP has been permanently decreased. It's burnt. It's gone forever. But then what happens is XAH is minted, an equivalent amount. So 100 XRP in this hypothetical would be burnt, and XAH, 100 XAH would be minted. So that's the other way you could get it. So how do I know that XAH price, even if it goes above XRP, will never be sustained above it? Well, the reason is what I wrote here. Again, if the price of XAH goes higher, then it's cheaper to get XAH by burning to mint. So imagine that XAH is being traded for $1. Just making that up. Say it was traded for $1. Well, do you want to buy it for $1 from somebody on BitTrue? Or would you prefer to purchase XRP and then burn that XRP to mint XAH, given that XRP is currently worth whatever it is, 61, 62 cents, whatever it is? Wouldn't you rather get that for 61 cents? And then you can take that XAH that you just minted and move it over to BitTrue, and if the market rate is $1, then you sell it for $1 and you make a big ass profit, right? And so I'm using this as a simple example. Now, in all reality, if there's ever a gap that big, it would probably be very short-lived. But I'm just pointing out that's how it works. That's why XAH is never going to be worth XRP, and that's just a blip on the radar. That really is it. And I feel incredibly confident about that. And I mean, I always have been, because I know that that's just functionally how it works. But to bring the point home further, viewing the post engagements there where I explained that's why it's not going to be worth, it's not going to be worth more. It's just, XAH is not going to be worth more than XRP. If you look at the likes here, I will note that Wietse Wind, who is the founder of XRPL Labs, and created the Sum app, he hit like on what I posted there, and he is one of the creators of Zahau. He created it with other people, and he's well respected, well known within the XRP community. He hit like on that because that's just functionally how it works. So no, we don't have to worry about XAA being worth way more than XRP and then we've missed an opportunity or something, so and so. If you want XAH, you can go buy it. I don't own any. Maybe I will one day. I happen to not at the moment. Now, Attorney Bill Morgan responded to me and he said, some would, so what he's saying there is, some would purchase XRP and then burn it so that they can mint XAH. So he says XAH. So Bill Morgan says some would, but as you have said on your YouTube channel, people can be emotional and irrational in the market. And I say that's a fair enough comment. People are irrational all the damn time. So I responded with the following. Maybe some clueless people wouldn't burn to mint, but when there are gaps like that in the market, people figure it out over time. It's the same reason that even though people engage in arbitrage trades in crypto today, it's much less profitable than it was back in 2015, for example. As more speculators enter the market, things tighten up and efficiency increases. This will create equilibrium in price between XRP and XAH. And so let me explain that, and I want to share with you a story. I haven't talked about this ever on the channel before, but it's just something that I find interesting. But there are firms dating back like a decade ago. They're like way, way, way back. And certainly before the bull run started where I jumped in 2017. There were firms out there. There's one in particular. I wish I could remember the name. But this particular firm, all they did, and they had massive funding behind them, to create technology that basically ran a bunch of trading bots. And what these trading bots did was seek arbitrage opportunities. Meaning, if you've got a cryptocurrency, it could be XRP. So there's XRP trading on multiple exchanges, right? So let's say it's a certain price on one exchange and a different price on the other. Let's say that it's higher on another exchange they created technology to track the real-time differences in price from exchange to exchange. And if there's a gap, what they would do is their bots, and it's just done automatically, would purchase the XRP where it's cheaper in real time, and then immediately transfer it to the exchange where it's selling for more, and they'd sell it over there. And so they'd pocket the difference. They'd pocket the spread, basically. That's it. And back when there was less liquidity and things were more volatile, there were some massive profits that were made. I wish I could remember the figures. I should probably try and hunt this firm down, see if I can find news articles, because I just thought it was a cool story. And it was just crazy money. And then what happened, and the subsequent market cycle, the profits shrank, let's say. There were more market participants, and which means more competition finding these gaps in the market. And so even though they did find them, and they were still pretty darn profitable, they had so much competition also looking for them that the gaps were smaller and there were fewer of them. And that's just that's the nature of things. That's why even though each individual cryptocurrency exchange, it's its own contained little ecosystem, its own little market, but each separate market is aware of what's happening in other markets. And if there's too big of a gap in price anywhere, people are watching that in real time. And software's watching it in real time. So that's the reason this occurs. And so when that happens, that's known as arbitrage. That's what that is. And so the reason that I'm highlighting that is just to point out when you're talking about the difference in price between XRP and XAH, if there's a gap there, as more market participants jump in, that gap is going to immediately be noticed, and increasingly be noticed, I should say, and then it will just cease to exist. That's how you find equilibrium. That's it. And as more participants come in, you're going to have smaller and smaller gaps. They're going to be harder to find. And then that's why this firm, I don't even know if they're still in business, someone that was doing the arbitrage stuff, but they made a boatload of money. And then the subsequent market cycle, they made way, way, way less. So I don't know if it's something that they're still doing as a business. I mean, it could still be. I mean, it's still potentially viable. There's still opportunities. There's just a lot less opportunity. And then I'll also note here, as far as this massive run-up for XAH, like, it's being traded on one exchange. There's almost no liquidity, folks. Here's the last 24-hour chart, the last 24-hour price chart for XAH. XAH, all-time high of 64 cents, okay, and occurred just over 24 hours ago. It's now 25 cents. 25, so it's come down dramatically. And my God, if you look at the liquidity, I don't know how accurately this is reporting, but like the liquidity, $297. You've got the volume at $302,000, and undoubtedly, you can see here. I mean, the volume during the mania going on, in the early hours of December 4th, that's where a lot of it was. But you're looking even then like 1 million, so it way spiked up. But that doesn't really mean anything. There's not like a bunch of exit liquidity here anyway. There really isn't. Like it's traded on one exchange on the planet. So the fact that it's extremely volatile should not be surprising. But then as more exchanges ultimately carry it, that's going to be reduced. That's the point. So no, I'm not worried about Zahau taking off, and if it does, good. Because I'm telling you, if we have a world where Zahau is wildly adopted, then you're always going to have this thing where people, if it's cheaper to purchase XRP burn to mint, they're going to do that. That's why you're going to have the price tied. Now the price can be lower, but it can't be higher unless in what world you'd have to have like XRP itself ultimately fail, which it's already cemented in place. So I'm going to not even talk about that in this video. So you're not going to have Zahau realistically ever be higher than the price of XRP, but it can be lower. Why can it be lower? It can be lower because it's brand new and it's not used for much of anything at this point in time, which is not a slam against it. I hope it excels. I really do, even though I don't own it. I like to see success, and maybe I will own it one day. But right now, there's so little liquidity, there's so few people paying attention to it, of course it's worth less than XRP. But if it's ever equally useful, you're just going to see this price. I mean, the equilibrium, like I said. But yeah, it can absolutely be worth less than XRP, which it is right now. There's just a lot of excitement. In fact, before it's run up, it was worth about 12 cents. So it's nothing to worry about here, and it's nothing to if you're looking at this and you're feeling like there's something wrong with XRP, what the hell is wrong with XRP? How is it possible that this brand new coin it's worth the same about? No. That's not the right way to look at it. This thing's just wildly volatile. This isn't like a sustained move, obviously. And maybe it becomes worth way more in super. I mean, great. I hope the project finds success. But this is not some sort of indication that there's something wrong with XRP. Just to be super duper clear here. This is just the way stuff works here. So I wanted to take some time and talk about it because there's some interesting perspectives about this. But I'm all for it. I think this is good news. And I hope that it's successful because that's just going to result in more XRP getting... If anything, it helps the price of XRP. That's it. Because it would increase demand for XRP. We should want Zahau to be wildly successful. I would love to see Zahau have a market cap at least as big as XRP. Or approaching it. You're like, why the hell not? It's not a threat to XRP. It just isn't. And I've talked about that separate video, so I'm not going to get into it here. But it's not. It's simply... XRP is already in place for multiple use cases the world over. It's just increasing. There's more developer activity year over year. Everything looks great. So no, it's not a threat. And if Zahau didn't exist, then all this activity, it would just have gone to a different smart contract chain anyway, which isn't a side chain, and then that wouldn't help to increase demand for XRP. But here, it does help to increase demand for XRP. So that's all I'll say on that. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.